Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Feeding the Curious Mind. My name's John Pullen and I'm a writer of fiction and non-fiction. London has a number of royal parks. There's Hyde Park, Regent's Park, Green Park, but the original one was St James's Park, and that's near Buckingham Palace today. It's located in a place called St James's, no surprise there. But the area of St James's was named after St James's Hospital. Now on that site now is St James's Palace, which is the major palace of Britain, major royal palace, I should say, of Britain. Most people think it's Buckingham Palace or Windsor. It's not. It's St James's. When a new ambassador presents their credentials to the king, it's always done at St James's Palace. So that is the main one. Now, the hospital itself, which was there hundreds of years ago, was actually a hospital for women who suffered from leprosy. Now, leprosy was a horrible disease. It marked the body very badly. It was infectious, and people that suffered from it were ostracized. They were sent away. They were given bells and ringing so people could keep away from them. So having a hospital for women who suffered from leprosy was quite unusual. Now, let's look at the park itself. You have to remember that back 400 odd years ago or more, unless you were in the City of London or along the Thames as far as Westminster, there was basically only pasture land, forests, grasslands north of London, all the way up to Hampstead Heath. In fact, Westminster itself and the area around what is now Buckingham Palace, the Mall, etc., was basically marshy. It was all marshland. So it was Henry VIII in 1532 who decided to acquire what is now St James's Park. We're not sure whether he bought it or just acquired it. You have a lot of power as a king. Anyway, he used it as a nursery for rearing deer. It's very likely that once he had reared them, that to adulthood, that he set them loose and then he probably hunted them down and killed them because he enjoyed hunting. Anyway, this continued until the reign of James I. Now, he decided to redevelop the park more as a park, as a leisure park rather than a nursery for animals. But he was also interested in wildlife, and he installed a number of crocodiles and an elephant, which I suppose in a way makes it more dangerous and interesting than feeding the ducks of today. The King Charles, not this one, I hasten to point out, used it to court one of his consorts, Nell Gwyn. We're not sure whether they pick flowers or got up to something else. We don't really know and don't really care, maybe. But then over the years, it was redeveloped again in the 19th century. Now, in the middle of the park today is the lake, and it's a big tourist attraction and very pleasant during the summer. But before that, there was the River Tyburn, which flowed through, and there was a stretch of water called the Canal. But in the 19th century, it was remodeled to the lake that we have today. The lake today is famous for its pelicans. These were introduced once again in the 19th century as a present from the Russian ambassador, and they've thrived, and you can still see the pelicans there today. Halfway up the lake is a footbridge, and from the middle of the footbridge you can look towards the west and you can see Buckingham Palace, and then if you turn around and look towards the east you can see where Horse Guards Parade is. This bridge has featured in many films, including a number of spy films where you see two intelligence agents or spies meeting on the bridge and exchanging information. So if you're there and you see what looks like James Bond, then you know that it's been used for real. Actually, it had been used for real in the past, or so we've been told.